How we doing, hooligans? It is a Monday morning, 10:20 on this 20th day of December. And here we are talking about another Denver Broncos loss. They lose to the Bengals 15-10. And a really frustrating performance. I mean, all the way around, I would say, for the defense. Offensively, let's go from the beginning. Let's say this. First off, terrifying moment when Teddy Bridgewater takes off. That was, I mean, football aside, you worry about anybody that goes down like that when you just kind of see them go limp. Sounds like Teddy is doing good. Zach Stevens from DNVR Broncos tweeted out moments ago, great news that Teddy Bridgewater has been released from the hospital. And that was about 2 minutes ago. So great sign there. And, the other thing of it was football side of it, again, not the important stuff, but on the football side, he wasn't there. He wasn't. It just wasn't looking good. I tweeted out a few times. It just didn't look like he had any real interest in being there. That's the body language that he gave off. However, on that play that he gets hurt, I thought maybe that's the spark. He takes off, runs. I believe he gets the first down, and that was maybe the spark that this team needed to get going. He goes down. Drew Lock comes in, and I thought Drew played for the most part pretty good. He was 6 of 12, 88 yards, had a touchdown. I know we want to talk about the read option play, and we're going to get there. But let's look at this for a moment here. This offense was doing absolutely nothing. I mean, he had 3 points. 3 points. Go to that first half. That is how you gift wrap momentum to a team. Another situation like the Kansas City Chiefs team. Although maybe this is worse. I don't know. There's no urgency. I think you get the ball with like 2:20 left or something like that, or maybe more, 2:40. No urgency to go down. You are playing for a field goal against the Bengals, a team that gets hot in the second half. You're playing for a field goal. So you jog on down there. There's no urgency, nothing. And then you ultimately get down to it where you do need those timeouts. You're running all these little 3-yard comeback routes, 5-yard comeback routes. Kick the field goal, you miss it. That's football karma in my mind. You play for a field goal in a situation that doesn't necessarily need a field goal. You need a touchdown. You play through. And if you don't get a touchdown, you kick the field goal. But you play for a touchdown on that stage. This is the playoff game, essentially. So disappointed in that. So disappointed. I'm so tired of Vic Fangio, of his clock management or lack thereof. It is frustrating for fans to sit and watch that. 9,000 fans didn't show up to the game yesterday. This is hard to watch. It's difficult. So you see that. You see Teddy Bridgewater with the comebacks and the 5-yard. You need 20, go 5 yards. All that stuff continues to happen. You miss the field goal. Cincinnati gets the ball right back. They go down. They kick the field goal. They go up 6-3 at the half. That's football karma. Whatever. That's what it was. So then you get into it. More mismanagement. We continue to have it. I think Javonte Williams, he ended with 15 carries, but there was a point there, most of the half, he's flirting with like 3 or 4 carries in the game. He's your best player on your team. If not, maybe just your best player on offense, but he's one of your best players. And you're at this situation where you're not going to give him the ball more. I mean, I'm fine with running the ball when it makes sense. All right, so let's get to the Drew Lock thing. I'm asking because I don't know. How many times have the Broncos ran a read option this year? When have they ran that play with Teddy? I do think that Pat Shurmur suddenly, his brain changes whenever Drew Lock comes in. Are Drew Lock and Teddy that different? Okay, Drew Lock will go down the field. Teddy kind of chips away. But really, they're both kind of mobile in the pocket. They're not running quarterbacks. So why does Pat Shurmur suddenly change the way he calls a play when Drew Lock is in the game? You're passing well. In fact, you're passing better with Drew Lock in the game than you were with Teddy. Teddy completed 12 passes for 98 yards. Drew completed 6 for 88. Drew was averaging 7.3 yards per pass attempt or per completion. Teddy at 4.5. So you're passing well, you're running well. Was it second and goal? Why are we getting adorable out there? Why are we trying to get cute? You run a read option. So if it's there, first off, yes, Drew made the wrong call. Give it to but why did you need it to be a read option? You're messing with him. What is the point of a coach? Those of you that are saying that this is all Drew's fault, then you are discounting the importance of a head coach. A head coach, an offensive coordinator, their jobs are to assess the talent level of their team and their strengths and weaknesses. Name one person that can tell you that Drew Lock's strength is designed runs, where he has an option to hand off or take off to the left. Even if he does get through the initial defender, where's he going? He's not a runner. It's not his game. Pat Shurmur seemed to think it was. Now, some of you are saying, well, Pat Shurmur made it darn clear you do not take off and run. We just want to make it look like a read option. Then just hand the ball off if that's the case, which I don't buy it. Shurmur was trying to get cute and wanted to take, hey, this is my honest opinion here. No inside scoop. It's how you still get glory. If you call a read option and that fakes everybody out and Drew trots into the end zone untouched, Drew's not getting the credit for that. Kind of, maybe. But you're giving it to Pat Shurmur. Oh, great call on that. They didn't expect it. It's frustrating. I'm not trying to defend Drew Lock. The quarterback is not on this team. Yeah, I said that last year with Drew Lock. I said it this year with both guys, Drew and Teddy. Quarterbacks are not on this team. Head coach is not on this team. Offensive coordinator is not on this team. It's a really frustrating situation to be in. But why are you calling a read option? You're second and goal. The very worst case, you're going to get a field goal out of that thing. But instead, you call a read option and you do something that's unorthodox. That's something against your character, something you don't do. I put that on the offensive coordinator first. In fact, our Power to Play Sports poll question of the day is available at thewholeshow.com. Who do you blame most for that botched read option play? Vic Fangio, Pat Shurmur, or Drew Lock? And I'm going to go Pat Shurmur. Fangio's a defensive guy. For whatever reason, he trusts Pat Shurmur. He's going to go with it. Pat calls the wrong play. It's not even the wrong play. Pass it or run it. Run it. Keep pounding it. Second and goal. Instead, you try to get cute, and Drew makes the wrong read, loses the football. Two terrible things. Vic Fangio said he was reckless. He was. Why does Vic not say anything about Pat Shurmur? He hardly says anything about Teddy when Teddy performs badly. They have it out for him, and it's hard to win, to try to organize a game plan around a guy that you have it out for. I can't be the only one here that thinks that they call a completely different game when Drew Lock is in. I mean, that's how I really feel. I know they have to call different. They're worried he's going to turn up. Am I saying Drew Lock is going to solve this thing and become a starting quarterback in the league? Should he? No. I think you see it. The signs are there. He turns it over too much. But why are we making it more complicated? He's the backup quarterback for a reason. So isn't the point of a backup quarterback to make the thing go as easy as possible? Because you don't trust him as much. So why would you trust him with a read option? It's like my kid's 4 years old. He can't drive a car. Is it my fault if he tries to drive a car and gets in a wreck? Yeah, it's my fault because I know he can't drive. That's not his strength. He can't drive a car. It's a bizarre example, but his strength is playing with toys. So I'm going to put toys in front of him. That's going to give him his best shot to not get hurt, to not have a bad time. I know what he's into. I know what he is. I study my kid. Why do they not know what they have in Pat Shurmur? Why do they not know what they have in Drew Lock? It's infuriating, and you should be so pissed today because you lost 15-10, and you had a defense that was absolutely balling out for this team. Justin Simmons was making plays all over the field. I was seeing Patrick Surtain do his thing. Shelby Harris is making plays. You have guys that are making plays for you out there. Baron Browning was all over the field. Defensively, you guys deserve better. And I will say this, Vic, you're great at calling defense. There's no question about it. You're very good at it. But you're not head coach. That's it. This doesn't work. This isn't working. You're 7-7. This roster is too good to be this bad. Much too good to be this bad. But when the quarterback position is costing you games, when the coaching situation is costing you games, it's football, right? You got to have a quarterback, you got to have a coach. And they can't be terrible. And I think we can agree, in the grand scheme of things, the coaching staff for Denver, pretty terrible. Perhaps one of the worst in the league. Or one of them was Urban Meyer, but he's gone now. Vic's got to be in that ranking. Shermer's got to be in that ranking as far as coordinators go. As far as quarterbacks, who's Teddy and Drew better than? And I'm not defending Drew Lock. He will not be the starting quarterback next year, nor should he be. But we're done. We're moving on. But you got to know your personnel. And the Broncos clearly do not. And that's what a coaching staff is supposed to do, is know your personnel. So I blame Pat Shermer for that play call yesterday. Again, Fangio cannot manage a clock. That is what a head coach is asked to do time and time again. Can't do it. Playing for a field goal in the second half. I guess that Chiefs game, you're playing for it's the opposite. Against the Chiefs, field goals, you're not going to beat the Chiefs with field goals. You're not going to beat them with empty drives either. And then drive yesterday, you're playing for a field goal. That team did not play to win. They played not to lose. I know that sounds cliche, but you could feel it, couldn't you? You could feel this team playing not to lose. And again, hate to see a guy go down. I don't care if he's my least favorite player in the league, or my favorite player in the league. Somewhat celebrating, which is ridiculous, and you ought to take a long look in the mirror. Teddy's a great guy, and I don't doubt it. I picked the Broncos to win yesterday, and that would be because I thought the run game would roll, the defense would be elite, and Teddy would play a decent game. 10 points, folks. You got 3 games left. You got the Raiders going. You got the Raiders, you got the Chargers, you got the Chiefs. The Bengals are now firmly placed in the playoffs at this stage. That's how big that game was. I can take a loss. I mean, I can't take a loss, but I can take a loss. I can't take that kind of performance. That playing not to lose. You have the wrong head coach here. They're not going to fire him before the season's up, but I'm telling you, if this thing goes any further, beyond that Chiefs game, when Vic Fangio's coming back next year, boy, it's going to be a lot to talk about. You can't bring Vic back. You can't bring Pat back. You can't bring Teddy back. You're not going to pay a backup quarterback $23 million. Drew's time is up. Drew has the best chance of all 4 of them, to be real honest with you, because he'd be a backup. But you got to find a coaching staff that's willing to work with what they have. I saw Twitter's a great place sometimes. People are going off. It doesn't matter who's back there, quarterback. The Broncos are going to ruin them. And I don't disagree. Teddy looks worse than I expected he was going to this year. Teddy's always kind of been an average quarterback. I think he's taken a step back. Drew Lock certainly looks lost out there. It's a bummer. It's a bummer to have that good of a defense, that great of running backs, and to come up that short. I will say this about Drew Lock. At least he throws it up in the air. You signed Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton for a reason. Give him the ball. Throw it up. Give him a shot. Gave Tim Patrick a shot. Tim Patrick made a play. That's what a high-money receiver does. Throw 5-yard passes all day. You're not giving – why pay a receiver then? George Payton doesn't sign Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick to long-term big money deals if he thinks Teddy Bridgewater's coming back. So, bummer of a day, man. I predicted this team would be a playoff team. I predicted this team would win 10 games. It was there. I think they have the talent. outside of the quarterback position. And you know what? To be honest, the quarterback position, I could survive the quarterback position even better if the coaching staff was just a little more competent, and they're not. We got a lot in detail coming up on this one. We're going to get our guy Zach Stevens of DNVR Broncos, our Broncos insider, to talk about this. Also, COVID watch. That's where we are now. The Nuggets ended up not playing Brooklyn. CSU didn't play Tulsa on Saturday. Not playing Alabama on Tuesday. The cancellations, postponements, whatever. Eyes on it. A lot to discuss today. We'll get to the good, the bad. Play sports poll question. Who do you want? Fangio for the botched read option play? I'm going Pat Shurmur all the way. All right, Hooligans. We'll talk to you soon. Tune in to 103.1, 1310 KFKA if you're in the area, or 1310KFKA.com if you're wherever. You could be in Germany or something. You could listen online from anywhere. Let's get after it.